Hello, I'm Marilyn Hemingway, and welcome. Hello, I'm Marilyn Hemingway, and welcome to A Gathering Place. I said I'm stepping back because we have young voices who want to be heard, and they're moving on something.
Branding is really important to you and your business.
Even a basic type of technology, you learn it all.
And people are
Good question. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to A Gathering Place, brought to you by the Gullah Geechee Chamber of Commerce and hosted by me, Marilyn Hemingway. And if anybody knows, you know I like some good trouble, and we're going to be talking about some good trouble and some necessary trouble that's coming up nationally and locally in Georgetown, South Carolina, with the John Lewis Voter Advancement Day of Action next Saturday, May 8th. And I have as a special guest today the organizer for the event, Mr. Donald GIlliard. So let's welcome Mr. Donald GIlliard. Hey, Donald, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Marilyn? How are you?
I'm doing great. And just a quick hello to David Warner. David, thanks for joining us this evening. Good evening to you also. And we've got a lot to talk about for the upcoming event, Donald. And before we do, I don't know if everybody can see it. Donald, can you see? My cat has joined me. My cat likes to hang out with me these days in the back in the window. So we got my cat there, folks. Well, there we go. Now we can see him hanging off my shoulder. All right. Hey, Mayor McClary's with us today also. Everyone, welcome. Glad that you guys are joining us. We're going to be talking about the John Lewis Voter Advancement Day of Action coming up on Saturday, May 8th. Donald, why don't you tell us what is going on May 8th?
Well, Marilyn, I'm glad you asked, and glad to be a part of this program, and glad that out of 100 cities in America, we're going to be bringing it here to Georgetown, South Carolina. The John Lewis Votercade is a presidential style Votercade that they used in Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, you know the extraordinary voter registration drive that they had in the state of Georgia. And of course, you know that was very critical in Georgia turning blue and ultimately changing the direction of this country, as evidenced with this votes in the Senate. And so this is a Votercade similar to theirs and under their auspice. And we're just going to line up people in their cars. We'll line up at the Howard Center on 1610 Hawkins Street. And then we're going to drive through the African American community, and we're going to drive to Ben Cooper Park, where we'll have music and food. There'll be some speeches there, and we'll have voter registration booth there as well to register people to vote. It's really kind of like an event to get people aware of the importance of voting, aware of the assault on our voting right as we speak, and what they're trying to do and take our vote away from us. And so what John Lewis is saying is that take your hands off our vote. Take your hands off our vote. So I'm excited. We are a small community that's doing it. They're doing it in Atlanta and Cincinnati and some other places. But I'm just hopeful that Georgetown will come out and be involved. And of course, we'll have a heavy media presence there, because we want them to see that we are excited about voting, we excited about mobilization, and we want them to be able to share that.
So this event, it's not just an event. I'm sharing the screen here showing the flyer, and folks can get signed up. Go to Twitter, because we have a number of local organizations that are working with you, Donald.
Yes.
We're putting the word out, and you could go to our Facebook pages and you can register for this Votercade that will lead to an action event where we'll have part of the event will be a teach-in also why we're
Absolutely.
actually doing this. But before we get into the why a little bit more deeply, who are the other organizations helping with this effort?
Well, of course, we have the NAACP involved. We have the Gullah Geechee Chamber of Commerce involved. We have the Delta Sigma Theta involved, the Omega Psi Phi involved. We have the Howard Alumni Association involved. Of course, my own organization, Sweet GIlliard Productions, involved as well.
Yeah, and we invite, has David Warner has posted that he's looking at his schedule and
Wonderful.
hoping that his entire family comes out. And we encourage that folks come out in your vehicles for the Votercade to Ben Cooper Park where we'll have the event. This is a nonpartisan event. It's open to everyone because it really is about voting rights. It's twofold. Getting folks registered to vote,
Yes.
but also we're going to be talking about the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act because our voting rights are under assault even as we speak. We over 46 states have are trying to implement voter suppression laws and also laws to suppress our right to protest. And that, folks, is both of those actions are a danger to democracy. So what are we trying to do? Raise the profile of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, which would restate Section 5 in the 1965 Voting Rights Act.
Absolutely.
And really push back on these voter suppression bills and these bills that they're trying to suppress, your right to free speech, because you have a right to protest in a democracy in the United States. So this is about getting educated on that too. So your thoughts regarding that, Donald?
Well, you're exactly right. And of course, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act is H.R. 4. And that's one of the ones that they'll be voting. I think the House has already passed that, so it's going to be in the Senate. And so we encourage you to reach out to your senators to tell them to support that. And of course, the Stop the Filibuster is H.R. 51. And we're hoping that that you would support that as well to stop the filibuster so these bills could get through. And Marilyn, it's so critical. It's really, really so critical. A lot of times I do a lot of door-to-door work in the community because I'm a hands-on grassroots guy. And I run into people in the community who's kind of disillusioned. And they're very quick to say, it don't make no difference who you vote for. Everything stays the same anyhow. Well, we know for a fact that that's not true. When you look at the things that are being done right now, and I'm really, really impressed with what this administration is doing, even, and being a progressive and that, I'm really impressed with what they're doing. There are a lot of benefits to people of color, people that are in the margins, people that are hurting in life. And I'm telling you, we wouldn't have these types of laws and bills passed to benefit our community if Georgia didn't turn blue. And our numbers are very similar to Georgia. Our racial makeup is very similar to Georgia. But I think where we're lacking here in our state is that we're not mobilizing as much.
We're not as engaged.
Right, we're not as engaged.
In all levels, Donald, I actually, I hear what you're saying. I've been hearing it for years, but your vote does count. Let's get it. It does count because things may move slowly to some folks, but they do move. And to make them move, you have to be a registered voter, and you have to vote. But you also have to be an engaged citizen. And what does that mean? Show up for city and county council meetings.
Yes.
And school board meetings. And get on commissions and committees. We have Mayor Frank McCleary, who's watching now. I know he has committees in his town and stuff. You know, he has stuff having town hall meetings, getting his residents engaged in the system. Y'all, but you got to show up. We can offer the town hall meetings, but you got to show up and get some knowledge.
Maryland.
Doing the census. Doing the census is another one, Donna. Do you know? I know you probably know this. In New York lost a congressional seat.
Yeah.
And if 89 more people had completed the census in New York, they would have not lost that seat. 89. 89. You know, this is part of being a democracy. You got to be engaged. Go ahead, Donna. You were going to say something.
No, you mentioned that the mayor of Andrews is on, and I'm glad Mayor McCleary is on. And I'm challenging Mayor McCleary. I need 10 cars in this Votercade from Andrews, more if possible, but a minimum of 10 cars, Mr. Mayor. In fact, Mr. Mayor, we'll put you right at the front of the line with all these other dignitaries. And I think it's important that people see people like the mayor involved with this. And I should have already called the mayor. But let's do this, man. Let's really rally our troops here in Georgetown, and let's really show that that we're engaged and that we will come out. So I need 10 cars from Andrews, and I need the mayor to make sure that we got 10 cars in this Voticade from Andrews, and that's next Saturday around 2:15 at the Howard Center. We'll have police escort. At 4 o'clock at the Ben Cooper Park. We'll have some food and chicken and everything, and it's going to be a wonderful celebration.
Yeah, so 2:15 the Votercade starts, but we're lining up before 2:15. So we're going to be out there starting at 1 o'clock Saturday. So y'all come on and get lined up, and at 2:15 the Votercade will start to head towards Ben Cooper Park. It's going to be safe. We're going to practice all the COVID protocol, safety protocol. If you don't have a mask, I got a box full. I'm ready, Donna.
Yeah, I see.
I got my mask, hand sanitizers. We got box full, folks. Y'all come on out. I got about 200 face masks, but we encourage you to bring your own mask. Just bring it. I know by now people got a lot of masks at home, so just wash your mask. And bring out a handful to help other folks and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we got Latasha, our friend Latasha, who said text Georgetown to 2100 for more information. Thank you, Tasha. 21,000. Thank you. 21,000. Text Georgetown 21,000 for more information, and you will get how to register and the details on next Saturday. Because we're gonna bring some people out, y'all. We want a lot of people to come out so that you can start to get more engaged. It's not just about elections. We need to be a democracy 365, 24/7. And that means coming out to these type of events, learning more about getting engaged, learning more about the bills and things that are happening out there. You know, I think, Donald, people focus on Georgia and the pushback in Georgia with their voter suppression bill. It's happening right here in South Carolina. It's just more quiet. It's just quiet in South Carolina, but it's still happening in South Carolina. Oh, the mayor is responding. Well, thank you. Oh, happy birthday to your mother-in-law. Yeah, you can't miss that one.
His mother-in-law's birthday is the same as my mother's birthday.
All
my
right,
mother's
now.
birthday is that day as well, Mayor McCleary. In fact, she will be out there. We're going to be selling her birthday at the same time we're doing John Lewis. And ironically, they're about a year or two apart. My mother may be 2 years older than John Lewis. And we're going to be celebrating her birthday out there as well. But thank you, Mr. Mayor. And make sure that your people in Andrews let me know that they're from Andrews so I can count them, because I'm counting 10 cars from Andrews.
All right. Well, I know if he's got Eddie Lee on it, they're going to show up. They're going to show up because that's Eddie Lee gets the job done. He really does. So, Donald, I'm glad folks come on out. We're going to do a teach-in share some information how you can contact your senators, your representatives, and let them know we have got to get the John Lewis Voting Rights Act passed so we can update the voting right laws. And also, we got to end this filibuster because they're going to be using that to suppress our votes and our voices. And so we're going to be doing a teach-in and giving you information about those two subjects because on May 11th, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act comes back up in Congress. So May 8th is to raise awareness, to do a teach-in, bring attention to the issue. This Votercade, we'll have the media there, we'll have food out there, we'll all gather together. And then on May 11th, we'll have you make phone calls, emails, text messages, whatever it takes to your senators and representatives to let them know we have got to have the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act passed. We got to get this bill passed, folks, so we can keep moving forward with our democracy. I don't think, Donald, before you answer this question, I'm going to ask it and then I have to do a quick little announcement. But I don't think, Donald, people really realize how much threat our democracy is under right now.
Oh my God.
Before you answer that, I want to remind everybody that you're watching a gathering place. This is going to be a short show today, but we're really this is a very important topic, that you're watching a gathering place hosted by the GIlliard Chamber of Commerce. So Donald, share with us. I don't really think people realize how our democracy is under threat today. What are your thoughts?
Well, Marilyn, what you said is just plain golden. As you know, the tenor and what has been happening in this country has been under assault. I mean, and it's been a process that's been getting worse and worse and worse. And it's a dangerous climate. It's a dangerous climate. When you look at democracy in this country, Maryland, because the election results did not go according to some expectations, they have decided that they're going to cut the number of days for early voting. They have decided that they're going to change the age requirement for early voting. They have decided that if you hadn't voted by 7 o'clock, even if you're in line, then you can't vote. You have to have voted by 7 o'clock. They have decided that if you're in line waiting to vote, that it'll be illegal for somebody to give you a bottle of water. I mean, Marilyn,
it's mean. It's a meanness to it. It's mean and spiteful. It's
absolutely mean. And those of us who are involved in this issue, we really have a responsibility. Marilyn, when we go door to door and we talk to a lot of people, a lot of our people, Marilyn, are uninformed. They just simply are uninformed. And so that means that we have to do that work. We're our brother's keeper. We have to inform them. We have to work. We have to understand that we have to do more work in our community. And so we have to go back to the freedom fighters that we came from. We really do. The Dr. King's and John Lewis's day. We got to go back to those days of activation and mobilization and teaching and really, really working in our community to help save our community.
We have to go back to the best of those days, the best tactics, and then we have to bring in the modern methods, the technology.
Yes.
And I think that's showing the appreciation that we express to our ancestors, what we learned from them that worked and will continue to work. And now we modernizing it by bringing in the technology, by bringing in what these innovative young leaders are bringing to the table. And that's working together, and making that happen. And there's just so many issues out there. If we do not work together, we can't accomplish what we need to accomplish for the community.
Absolutely. And ironically, Marilyn, this day of mobilization of voter registration on May 8th is exactly 30 days before our Democratic primary in June 8th here in Georgetown. And so everybody who registers that day will be able to vote
The
30
vote.
days later in
Yeah.
our Democratic primary. That's critical too.
It is
Because when
critical, and it's very timely that
yes,
you brought that up. It's very timely, and I didn't think about that, but
yes,
yeah, it's very timely, y'all. So you actually have a week to register to vote, and if you
that's
don't get
right.
a chance to register to vote this week on May 8th,
Incredible.
when we do the Votercade, when we do the event, we'll have voter registration forms out there. We'll get you registered to vote. So you can vote in the June primary, because every election is important. It is
Absolutely.
important that we vote in every election. That is so true.
Absolutely.
And that we come out to these type of events. Latasha, thank you very much. It is a very important subject. It is important that we get involved, not just when we vote, but in every event that we can get to, whether it's a city county council meeting, whether it's an NAACP meeting, where they teach us a lot of stuff, trainings. There are a lot of trainings out there people can get involved in. Your political parties get involved with those. Just knowledge, y'all, is powerful. And our democratic systems, which includes our public school system, how we vote, all of those are under attack. And we need to have the knowledge so we can fight back. So, Donna, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Y'all, thank you for joining us today. And I want Donna to remind us of what's going to happen while I put the flyer up. What is going to happen next Saturday, May 8th in Georgetown on a national level. And that's a good thing, too. This is going to be national, folks.
Yes. It's going to be national. In addition to that, I've been telling the folks across the state that Georgetown is going to have the best one in this state. That's what I'm telling them. And so I want over 100 cars. And we have to take a sense of pride in doing this, because when we have the media there to cover this event, trust me, if you only got 10 or 12 cars there, that's going to send a real bad message. And so we want them to see that we understand, we're watching this, we are engaged in this process, and we want them to see that we're going to take this serious. So next Saturday at the Howard Center, Marilyn, our little time may be a little off, because I think we're going to line up actually at 2:15 for the press conference, because they want us to start the festivities at 4. So
Okay.
I think if we leave at 2:50, we'll be there too early. But
yeah, we will be.
Yeah, so we're going to line up. We're going to have a press conference at 2:15. And we're going to put the stuff on the car. We got the big John Lewis banner. It's going to be secure. We'll have a police.
And don't forget, we are telling people you come out. If you're a NAACP member, you're a Howard High alumni, Omega Psi Phi, Delta Sigma Theta, wear your colors.
Yes.
Show your pride. Wear your colors, your high school colors, Howard, Georgetown. And we got to go old school when y'all too. Choppy, y'all. Yeah. Y'all come on, Andrews High. Y'all come on out. Wear your colors. Show your pride. NAACP, wear your colors, your shirts, because we want to show off. Decorate your cars, red, white, and blue, and or your colors of your fraternity, sorority. Y'all come on out, and let's just make this a big splashy votercade, so we can bring attention to the movement. This is all part of a bigger movement.
Yeah, Maryland, we're gonna have a food truck out there. My brother is bringing out a food truck from Conway. I mean, we're going to have everything there, and we're going to have music. It's going to be done really, really nice, and plenty of drinks and food and everything. And we want to have a real festive environment. We want to celebrate the legacy of John Lewis as well.
That's right.
We have to do it. This is a man who got blooded on the Edmund Pettit Bridge, fighting for these rights. And so this is our way to say, we're going to stand up. So Saturday, don't sit home. Don't go to the Walmart or to the mall. Come on down and get engaged. Get in your air-conditioned cars and get in this line. as we make this slow trek toward Ben Cooper Park. And let's let folks know that we are engaged in Georgetown. We're going to be a part of this process, and we want them to know we're not sleeping. Thank you all
Very
so
good.
very, very much. And call
Thank you,
anybody,
Donna.
churches. We need the churches. Call members of your church.
Y'all come on
Everybody
out.
line up, and let's do this on next Saturday.
Yep, every church should have a representative in their car, in their vehicle, in this votercade. So y'all come on out, bring your church members, come on out. Bring your church van, drive your church van in it. We need
Wonderful
to bring
idea.
attention to this. Bring your church van out. And also that's happening that afternoon, that evening, and I forgot, Donald, and this is my own event, and I shouldn't have forgotten that at the Black River Cypress Preserve in Andrews, with doors open at 7:30, we're going to have a socially distanced movie as a part of the International Gala Film Festival. That is starting, the virtual International Gala Film Festival is starting May 3rd through the 8th. Go to www.tigff.org. That's International Gala Film Festival, tigff.org. Sign up, and in the comfort of your home, you'll be able to watch films from around the world that celebrate the Gala and African diaspora. And so that's a virtual film festival that you can watch from the comfort of your home. But on Saturday, May 8th, that evening, after this event, in Andrews at the Black River Cypress Preserve, you can kick back and read in a beautiful outdoor atmosphere, and we're going to do an outdoor movie, and we want everybody to enjoy that also. So Donald, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's been great, good information, and I look forward. Yes, Club 142, Mary. Yes, Club 142. We want y'all to come on out also to
Yes,
this
I
votercade.
expect them. This is multiracial Club 142. We know how strong you all are. We want 20 cars from Club 142 or even more.
Yeah. The more the merrier, folks. And don't worry about parking. There's plenty of space as we line up, and we will take those cars down to Ben Cooper Park and just have a good old time with the food trucks and everything. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Hey, Ramona, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And everyone, we just want to remind you, come on out next Saturday, 2:15 at Howard in the Votercade, celebrating the life of John Lewis and also starting the fight to save our voting rights. So come on out, folks. Donald, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank y'all very much. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you later, Donald.
Bye-bye.
And I just want to take a moment to remind everyone that our gathering place is every Wednesday and Sunday at 4 o'clock. But man, we're coming out of COVID. The weather is warming up. It's beautiful. And these are just 2 events coming next Saturday. But there are a whole lot of events happening. And I just want to encourage everyone to continue to practice your safe COVID practices. Wear your mask, wash your hands, take hand sanitizer with you, and practice, still 6 feet apart and in small groups. So every event that we've talked about, each event is practicing those COVID-19 safety protocols. Make sure you bring your mask. If you don't bring a mask, we do have some available for that day of the events. But please, folks, even without the events, when you're out and about, wear a mask when you're inside, and take care of each other. So we'll see you next Saturday for the Votercade. And then that evening, we'll be at the Black River Cypress Preserve as a part of the International Gala Film Festival, beautiful outdoor setting. And Mayor McClary, I'll be in touch with you to let you know about this so we can get some people out. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Very good show. And we look forward to seeing you next weekend. We'll talk to you later. Thanks and good night.